Hey guys, it is 9 o'clock and this is Thursday night, and I'm excited for you guys to come and join me for us talking about the wellness plan and just really talking about goals in 2016. So who likes new beginnings? I'm one of those people that love the new year. I love to start something fresh. I even like to start a new week. So a lot of people complain about Mondays. I actually like Mondays. I think it's a great beginning of the week. By Friday, I'm like, okay, we've got the weekend here and Monday's a new day. So I don't know if you guys feel the same way, but that's how I feel. Is anybody going to join me tonight on the Google Hangout? Want to be live with me? If not, that's okay. I'll go ahead and get started. I'm only going to take 30 minutes of you guys' time. I know it's a late night, and many of you might be finishing up putting the kids to bed, or maybe you have an early morning tomorrow, and so I just want to take about 30 minutes of your time and just talk a little bit. Let's have some results in 2016, okay? So one of the things I wanted to start with is John Maxwell. He's one of my favorite speakers, and I love his books. He says, if you do what you've always done, you'll get what you've always gotten. All right, have you heard that before? And I think everybody knows that, like, if I don't change anything, nothing's going to change. But who likes change? I know I have a problem with change, and my kids, they do not like change whatsoever. However, I do like to say that, I like change when I control it. And that's the great thing. We have control over change. We get to make the choices. We get to decide if we want to change or not. So something I want you to really think about. I want you to think about a tree. We have a big tree in the back of our property. And it was a little sapling when we first moved in here about 17 years ago. And we've watched that tree grow. At the same time, our oldest son was about 2.5 when we moved into our house, and we've watched him grow, all right? And sometimes you don't see the growth on a day-to-day basis, okay? So we'd look outside and we'd watch this tree and watch it, in the summertime it would start getting leaves, and in the wintertime the leaves would start falling off. And we never really said, oh, look, the tree has grown 5 inches this year, or the tree's done this year. But from year to year, we're like, my goodness, look how much that tree has grown. And after 17 years, the tree's really, really tall. And at the same time, our 19-year-old son, who was 2.5, has grown into this big man. But you don't always see it day to day. And so that's change, okay? That's change occurring. And the same thing can happen for us. Small little steps that we take each day, we can see growth. We can see change, okay? So today we're going to talk about three easy steps to get results in 2016, okay? And the first one, number one, is assess, okay? We have to assess where we are. If we don't assess where we are, we don't know where we're going, all right? So I want you to think about it this way. If you were going to go on a trip, and let's use Disney World as an example, okay? If you didn't know where you were at right now, you wouldn't know if you need to go north, south, west, or east to get to Disney World, right? Okay, so you have to know where you are. So number one, assess when you're thinking about your wellness. At God Oils, we've put together a wellness quiz. This is an assessment to assess where you are right now. And we actually assess 3 different areas. I'm just going to talk about those 3 areas just for a second. The first area is we talk about nourishing our body. So we like to call that building a healthy foundation. All right. The second area is supporting and balancing your body. And we like to call that building a strong frame. And the third area is cleaning and protecting, and we call that maintaining a healthy home and body. So this wellness quiz, that's what it's doing, is it's just assessing those 3 areas to see where you're at. Now, you may be equal in every area. Maybe you're really balanced, or maybe there's an area that's weaker than another and another area that's stronger. We all have our weaknesses and we all have our strengths, but we have to know where we're getting started. So let's think a little bit about going on that trip to Disney World, okay? You have to actually get into your car to get to the airport or start driving that direction, but you have to know where you're starting, okay? So that wellness quiz is your starting place, all right? It's not your final destination. It's just a place to assess and start, all right? Now, what we've also done at God Oils is we have put together some 30-day e-courses so that a way you kind of have a roadmap of where you could go, all right? So if you were driving to Disney World, you would need a map to get there, or the pilot of the airplane needs to know where he's going. And so our 30-day e-courses are there to help you on your journey, all right? Now, some people say, why 30 days? Or 30 days is a long time. Well, the amazing thing is they found in about 21 to 30 days, we can change habits, all right? But the other thing about the 30 days is we can look at a month's time. And you don't have to start at the beginning of the month, but we're just talking a 30-day, a month's time, that our brain actually starts changing, okay? So things that seemed difficult before, after 30 days, can seem easier, all right? Things that seemed impossible, after doing it every day for 30 days, it can seem possible, all right? So fantasies become results. And that's what we want to talk about today, is how we can get some results. So number one, again, is to assess where we are, okay? And then at God Oils, if you go to our homepage and you scroll down, you can go to starting, and that's where you can find the 30-day e-courses. They're free, so you can just push on it. We're actually going to have a promotion in January for all those people that want to join us on taking an e-course. Those that participate every day for those 30 days are going to have the opportunity to win some really great prizes. So we're going to put that here on the website, godoils.com, got-oils.com, on the website starting tomorrow. And we'll be really showing you guys how to get started on those e-courses. But right now, let's talk about the wellness plan, okay? And even before we talk about the wellness plan, if you're watching this live right now and you happen to be on our website, if you'll scroll down, you'll see a comment section. And what that comment section is going to allow you to do is, between now, I'm going to give you guys till 10 o'clock, but we're going to be talking just till about 9:30, is the opportunity to comment if you are learning something about what we're talking about today. And by doing that, you'll have the opportunity to win a gift. And if you'll look right above me on my bookshelf here, I've got 5 different books that may just help you on your wellness journey, all right? So we'll be drawing for those. And I'll just tell you a little bit. The one over here is called the Raw Food Feast. So it's going to help you with your nourishing of your body and really just taking that step. Now, the ULA book, if you don't know about ULA, it's about balancing your life, and it's a great book to go through at the beginning of the year. Any time of the year is great, but the beginning of the year is an awesome time because they also will do like a life assessment with you. It's called the ULA wheel. And then they will also help you, guide you on the 7 areas of ULA. And so it's a great way to set up some goals. I've been doing it the last couple of years and have found that it's really helped me to balance things, you know. I love my job. I love to talk about wellness and health. So sometimes my field will get kind of full and I'll be excited about doing that. But I don't want to forget about my family, because my family is why I do what I do, and they're the most important. I want to make sure that they're getting health and wellness in their bodies just as well as anybody else that I may be talking to. And so that's really important to me. And then another book up there is Journey to Health and Wealth. And so Steve Sheridan's put together some information. I kind of like to call him the Dave Ramsey of Young Living. But it's really to help us with our health and our wealth, because if we don't have money coming in, it's hard to be taking care of the things that we're wanting to buy to help with our health and wellness. And so he goes through like 10 steps on doing that, helping you set up some financial goals. So finance is another really important part. I like to say if our financial health isn't good, neither is our emotional health or our physical or our spiritual health. So the next book is a book that's going to help you on your journey of just your health and wellness, okay? And then the other one is Road to Royal. And if you're interested in doing the Young Living business, that book has some amazing steps on helping you get there. So those are the 5 books. You got to comment in the section though. You can go to got-oils.com and click on the blog, And you should see me live there between 9 and 9:30. I'm speaking right now there. And then you can scroll down to the comment sections and just leave me a little comment about what you're learning about. And if you like having these type of webinars, I tried to do one Tuesday morning, and now I'm doing it Thursday evening. So the next thing let's talk about is, let me look at my notes here, don't want to miss anything, is we talked about assessment, but number 2, remember we're going to talk about 3 steps. So we've already talked about 1, assess, know where you're at. Number 2 is write, okay? We're going to talk about goals, and if you don't write those goals down, it's really hard to get started, right? But they've actually said that most people have goals. I mean, how often do you say, I want to lose 10 pounds, or I want to be able to do this or do that? Those are all goals, but a lot of times we don't write them down. And we're 300% greater chance of achieving our goals if we write them down. Is that not amazing? All we have to do is write them down, and then we increase our chances by 300%. To me, that's amazing. But let's talk a little bit about why people don't even write them down, okay? We all know that we have these goals and we have these dreams, but writing them down on a piece of paper sometimes is the hard part, right? We just don't know how to get started. And the number 1 reason why people don't write them down, does anybody want to guess why? Fear. That's what I mean, fear. Fear that they won't finish their goals. And you know what? It's okay. It's not about the finish, it's about the getting started, okay? Maybe you set a goal in a year to, let's say, lose 20 pounds, okay? And it's been a year and you've lost 4 and you're like, oh, I didn't meet my goal. Hey, you got 4 pounds closer to your goal than you were at the beginning of the year. That's good. It's the getting started part, all right? So don't be afraid of not finishing something, because you know what? Nobody finished something that they never started. So the starting part's the most important. The number 2 reason why people don't write a goal because of fear is the fear of failure. They're afraid they're going to fail, okay? Again, I like what John Maxwell says about falling forward, failing forward, okay? Again, you can't fail something you never start, okay? It would be better to fail at something you started than to never have started at all. Number 3 is fear people will think you're crazy. How many times have you had a dream and someone thought you were crazy? That's okay, okay? Don't worry about what other people think. You take care of your own goals and your own dreams and see where you can go, okay? So don't be afraid to write them down. Number 4 is fear that people will say, I told you so. I knew you couldn't do that. That's okay. Don't care what other people say. This is about your goals, your dreams. Write them down, okay? So I want you to think about this. This is still the first week. We're in our first week of 2016, but I want you to fast forward to January 2017, okay? Are you there? Now, let's say you took the wellness quiz and you thought, oh yeah, there's some areas I need to work on, but that fear comes into your mind and you're like, oh, whenever I set goals, I never meet them, so I'm just not even going to set any goals, okay? So you don't set any goals, you don't write anything down, you don't listen to a word I say, okay? And it's 2017, and let's say one of the things that you were thinking but didn't write down was, man, I need to eat better. I need to be eating better because I just don't eat as well as I should. I know I should be doing better with that. So let's say you don't change anything with your diet, okay? You eat the same way as you've been eating for the last year. It's 2017 and you've gained 10 pounds, all right? Are you okay with that? Now let's say you've been walking and your feet have been hurting and your legs have been hurting and it's just kind of getting difficult, all right? It's 2016 and you know that you're thinking, man, I got to work on that. I got to make some changes, but you don't make any changes and it's 2017 and you can only walk 10 minutes and you got to sit down because your feet hurt, okay? Because you didn't make any changes in 2016. It's 2017 and you're worse off than you were before because you didn't make any changes. You just kept doing the same old thing. Remember, if we keep on doing the same old thing, we're going to get the same old thing, right? Are you okay with that? Are you okay with seeing that picture in 2017? Okay. Let's say that you took the wellness quiz and man, you scored kind of low on the maintaining a healthy body and and home, and you realize, man, I use a lot of toxins in my home and I really should probably get rid of some of those things, but you don't change a thing. Remember, 2016, not going to change a thing. You find that every month, man, you're falling below that wellness line. You're just not feeling all that great. I mean, you know, going to the doctor and taking sick time off of work, or kids are home a lot because they can't go to school, or maybe you homeschool like I do and you're like, hey, we can't deal with being sick all the time. We got to get things done. And it's all because you thought, I don't want to write something down that I'm going to not be able to meet, that I might fail. All right. So are you okay with that scenario? Are you okay with 2017 being just like today in 2016? If you're okay with that, great. If everything is good, you took the wellness quiz, you're high up there, man, you're above average, everything's looking good, you're like, I just want to maintain, then that's great. All right. But if you're like me, and you're like, there's some areas that I really need to work on. Back in December, the beginning of the month, I took the wellness quiz, and nourishment is my area that I've been working on. I've been working on that area for about 5 years. I don't know what I would have scored on that wellness quiz, but I can tell you it was probably below average back then. But every time I continue to work on this, I'm improving. Now, I haven't achieved my main highest goal. I'm not there yet. That's okay. We like to call this a journey, and it's just like going off and getting started on going to Disney World. You've got to take those steps, those miles to actually get there. So I took the quiz in December, and one of the things I noticed on there is I just don't do very well on eating vegetables. My family, we're just not a big vegetable eating family, and I know that I need to eat vegetables. It's not that I don't know it. I know it. Doing it, different story. Okay, so what I wrote down, and I'm just going to show you my wellness plan here. I don't actually have anything written down on this one, but on the wellness plan, it gives you a place to write down your scores from your wellness quiz. All right, and then down below here, it has wellness goals. And my goal is to eat better. I want to nourish my body. I want to feed my body what it needs instead of just feeding it what I think it wants because I like those sweet things, or I like the carbs, or, whatever it is for you. For me, I eat pretty healthy. I just don't eat enough vegetables. I definitely don't eat enough green vegetables. And so I wrote down to nourish my body. And we're going to talk about number 3 in just a minute on what I did next. But I had to write it down. I had to put it down on paper. So here I would know that I want to change, okay? I want to be like that tree, and I want to grow, and I want to change. It may just be small steps. Maybe it's just eating a green vegetable with each meal. So really think about what it is you want 2017 to look like, okay? And this is a place that you can dream big. So in this area right here for wellness goal and goals, don't worry about trying to do just, writing a minimal amount. You can write big goals. That's okay. All right. And don't think, oh, I'll never be able to achieve this in 30 days, or I won't be able to achieve this in a year. I won't even be able to achieve this in 5 years. It's okay. Write down what you want the end to look like. What is your big wellness goal? What is it you're wanting? Okay. What is it you desire? All right. Now, number 1 was assess. Number 2 was write. And both of those are very important. That's where you have to start. Okay. And remember, we can't finish if we don't start. But number 3 is really what brings it all together. And number 3 is do. D-O. Do. Okay. It doesn't matter how much we write down our wellness goals and dream about it, or even make a vision board, if we don't do anything about it. Okay. So we must do something. What you do is not as important as just doing something that leads you closer to your goals, no matter how small. So there is a section on there called action steps. 3 daily action steps for 30 days. I only wrote 3 on there for you because some people start like thinking of 10 different things that they want to change all at the beginning of the year. And we're kind of setting ourselves up for failure when we do that, because, 1 change is hard enough. 2 changes is getting up there. And 3, That's about as many as we can usually do, all right, at one time. And so for your action steps, I want you to think about those wellness goals that you have. And I want you to think of just one little step that's going to get you closer. So let's use the example of you're wanting to be able to walk for an hour without any problems. That's your goal. That's like, man, if I could just walk for an hour and be like, I got energy, I feel good, I'm there, then maybe your first action step would be put your shoes on, put your tennis shoes on, okay? You might even think, what if somebody asked me, what do I need to do to be able to walk for an hour? What would you tell them? Because you know what? A lot of times the best answer for ourselves is what we will tell somebody else. So if someone else asks you that question and you say, I'd put on my shoes, I'd set a timer, I don't know, I'd maybe walk 10 minutes. That's what you need to do, okay? Because we don't want to just talk the talk. We want to walk the walk, all right? So action step number 1, I'm going to put on my tennis shoes every day, all right? Number 2, I'm going to walk outside. Number 2, I'm just going to walk outside every day. Number 3, I'm going to walk for 10 minutes. Maybe those are your 3 action steps for the next 30 days. That's it, okay? You're going to work on putting your shoes on, you're going to work on walking outside, and you're going to walk for 10 minutes. That might be 5 minutes out the door, turn around, 5 minutes back. 10 minutes for 30 days, all right? Don't worry about what you can do the next month. Don't worry about when you're going to be able to walk that hour. Don't start thinking about all those different things. Think about 3 action steps that you can do right now for the next 30 days that you can achieve, that are doable, all right? Now, you might be saying, oh, well, you know, I think I can do 3 different things. So let's look at maybe the fact that you want to drink 8 cups of water a day, all right? So you put on your action step, I will drink 8 cups of water a day. I will is a great way to start an action, okay? Maybe number 2 is I choose to eat a green vegetable every day. I choose is another great way to start a goal. And number 3 might be I will use a non-toxic laundry soap for my clothes for the next 30 days. All right, so maybe you're looking at those 3 little action steps. Now you might be saying, okay, but how's that really going to make that big of a difference? All right, little steps make big changes. If you want results, you got to start small and work your way up. So often we try and do these really big steps, and after 30 days, we go back to our old habits again, and we're right back where we were before. We don't want that. We want to find things that we can do slowly and change, okay? So remember I said in December I was going to eat more vegetables, and I did. I worked on eating more vegetables. I'll say that there's some days that I didn't do a great job, and I have a supplement called multi-greens that I try and do, especially on those days that I know I'm not eating greens. Today, my husband and my 2 sons were at a basketball game. My daughter was at dance, so no one else was at home, and I thought, you know what? I need to eat my greens. So I made up me some broccoli and some onions, and it's amazing that if you eat a bunch of servings of that, you get pretty full pretty quick. And so I got some greens in me, I got some vegetables in me, and you know, I'm working one step at a time. Do I eat like that every night for dinner? Do I just have vegetables? No. But it's that one step, I know. And so once you fill out your wellness plan, I'm gonna get that out again. Okay, so you got your wellness plan here, and you write down those 3 action steps right here. The next important step is making sure that you look at it every day, all right? Because if you don't look about it, you're not going to think about it, and if you don't think about it, you're not going to do it, okay? So you're going to look at that, and you're going to go, man, you know, 3 weeks ago, I took that wellness quiz, and nourishment just wasn't real great, but my goal is I'm going to eat better in 2016. I'm going to make good choices on a daily basis. And then you look at your daily action steps each day, and I want you to ask yourself this question, okay? Am I doing my action steps on a daily basis? So if I say, let's go back to the walking one, I will put my tennis shoes on every day. Ask yourself, did I put my tennis shoes on today? And you look down and you go, oh, my tennis shoes are on. Yay. Okay. You might want to put these on note cards. You might want to tape this to your mirror. You might want to put it in front of the toilet so that you can see it every day there. Put it somewhere where you see it. I have a binder I keep mine in that I go through on a daily basis. It's actually this yellow binder over here. And so I get that binder out every day and I go through different things for my wellness and for my work, and I can see it right then. And I'm going to make that choice of, oh, I put my tennis shoes on today. Walk outside. Ooh, I need to do that. I need to walk outside. I need to walk for 10 minutes, whatever my goal is, okay? Here's where a lot of problems occur. We like to make excuses. Who likes to make excuses? All right. Oh, I'm too tired today. I can't do it. Oh, mine the other day was I'm too sore. Okay. So we are really good about making excuses. Excuses is what stops our dreams. It's what stops our plans. You know what? It's excuses for the reason why Americans have the health that they have today. We don't take responsibility. So what I want you to do for 2016 is I want you to take responsibility for your actions. Okay, so you have 3 daily actions that you've written down. And every day I want you to look at it and I want you to say, I did it. Or say, I will, and say what it is so that you do it. Or I want you to say, I choose not to put on my tennis shoes today. Okay, not an excuse. Just, I choose not to. And the reason I say I want you to say those words is because when you actually say those words and think those words and it's coming out your mouth, I choose not to put on my tennis shoes. You're choosing not to change. All right? And that's okay. If you want to go a day or two and say, I choose not to put on my tennis shoes, I choose not to go outside, and I choose not to walk, that's your decision. But when you say that, you're saying, I choose not to change. I choose not to grow. I choose not to progress. Instead of an excuse that just at the end of the year and you're like, it's 2017 and I didn't meet my goals and I don't know why. Why? Because you chose not to do those little bitty steps. All right. Now, what happens is typically when we read that on a daily basis, we're going to do it because we set an intention that I will put my shoes on every day. I will go outside every day. I will walk 10 minutes every day. Now, if you put that book aside and you never look at it and you never say I will and you never say I choose to do it or I choose not to do it, nothing's going to happen. Nothing's going to change. But when you get that out and you look at it, things are going to start changing. And remember at the beginning when I said things that were difficult begin to become easy. Things that seemed impossible start to seem possible. And fantasies become results. All right. So we have about 3 more minutes, guys. And I just want to say that I hope that 2016 is a year of results for you. I know for me, I'm going to do everything I can to reach the goals that I'm setting. All right. And I'm going to set goals every 30 days because things are going to change. All right. And so my personal plans are I'm going to take the wellness quiz and I'm going to see where I'm at. And I made a 5-point increase on my nourishment from December to January. Now, 5 points is not a whole lot. 5 points out of 50 is not too bad. All right. But it was a starting point. And it started with me just saying this one thing. I'm going to eat 1 vegetable with 1 meal a day. Okay. That's it. 1 vegetable, 1 meal a day. Now, sometimes I had more vegetables than that, but I was in a 30-day period, I was pretty good about having at least 1 vegetable with my meal a day, either my lunch or my dinner, okay? And that's a serving, not just like a carrot, okay? But a vegetable, all right? This month, I've upped that ante, okay? I've increased that. And my goal is each month to increase that until I'm getting the vegetables that I need. Now, I've got some other goals also, and I've got some other action steps that I'm taking because I need to exercise and do all those different things, but I'm making it small, all right? So my exercise goal for the 30 days is to exercise at least 30 minutes, 6 out of 7 days a week. All right. So one day this week, I already said I choose not to exercise today, and that's okay. I'm within my 6 out of 7 days. Now, if I have one more day this week that I say I choose not to, that's my choice. And I know when I'm choosing that I'm saying, you know what? I know that this is going to maybe put me a step back from my goals. And if you're okay with that, that's great. And if you're not okay with that, I bet you'll find time to do that 30-minute exercise. All right. Yesterday, my daughter and I went to the mall. I said, hey, I got to get my 30 minutes exercise in. So I walked the mall. Whatever you need to do to reach those goals. So guys, it's 9:30 and I am so excited about 2016. I'm excited to see what's going to happen with you guys. So if you've commented down below, I'll be checking those comments and I'll be replying to them, and I will put you in a basket to do a drawing. And I already prayed that whoever needs whichever book will be receiving it. So I'm excited about sending those books to you guys. And I just want to thank you for your time. And if you haven't taken the wellness quiz yet, please go to got-oils.com and take your wellness quiz. And if you have taken it, but you haven't filled out your wellness plan, please do that. And then in the next week or so, let's get started on a wellness e-course, okay? It's 30 days of learning more about how you can help your own wellness journey. And I think most of us want to see a healthier 2016. All right, so have a good night, and I'll see you soon. Bye.